name is Michelle Pitts, and I'm the president of Indianapolis Ambassadors. And see, for me, I would say that any of you that know me know I tried to get every badge there was in Girl Scouts. And you know that I was always the top cookie seller in my little tribe or troop. So I was just so about Girl Scouts. And I think about all the things that it taught me about getting along with other people and skills that taught me that I never would have been taught before. You know, it just was outside of my wheelhouse, but it was so nice to have all these people trying to help me earn these badges and stuff. I love the whole experience. Let's see, something else about me is I'm very fond of the Blue Angels that will be performing. I lived on Pensacola Beach for quite a while, and the Blue Angels are stationed out of Pensacola Naval Air Station. So if you're ever down there and you get a chance to go to the museum, it's gorgeous. There's like Blue Angels hanging in the museum. You walk under them. The lighting's beautiful. Everything's patriotic. And they would always do their flybys on the beach. And so you'd be laying there in your bathing suit and you'd hear the rumble of them coming. And you'd sit up. But then they flew so low over the beach you wanted to lay back down because it was just so exciting. They always perform on the 4th of July weekend down there. So anyway, I have a lot of great memories of the Blue Angels. So I think that's all about us, and we've all told some about ourselves. So now we'd like to know about you, Rob.
So I have to talk about me now?
About yourself
Okay.
first, and then tell us about your wonderful organization and building an air show.
Absolutely. So I'm Rob Tankersley. There is no Josh, just Rob. My job is with the Crossroads of American Councill. I'm the Director of Operations here at what we call our Indianapolis Scouting Center, which is the camp we're standing on right now, sitting on. Our main office just down the street, and I handle the day-to-day operations here. In addition to that, I also happen to be the staff advisor for volunteer services for the Crossroads Air Show. It has been 11 years since we had an air show here in the Indianapolis area.
Wow, I wouldn't have realized
At the
that.
time, what would have been Mount Comfort Airport.
Yeah.
Now Indianapolis Regional Airport, same place. So yeah, 11 years, 2012, and we are super excited to be bringing them back. So this is a project that for a good portion of our team started 3 years ago with, we want to, how do we make this happen? And the logistics and everything else that go into it. And we are obviously in the home stretch. We are less than 2 months away at this point from, no pun intended, but takeoff on this one. So for those of you that have already signed up to volunteer for the event, thank you very, very much. We certainly do appreciate it. For those that are interested in signing up for the event, I've got literature and information up here. There are QR codes and online links, and I know Chris has those as well that he's going to send out to everybody. And we're very much looking forward to it. The Blue Angels, obviously the keynote act of the entire event, in addition to a dozen some odd other aerial performances, the static displays, the recruiting stations from all of the various military branches, and then all the other fun things that go along with putting on an event for tens of thousands of people over the course of a weekend. All in, it is going to take us about 1,500 volunteers is what we're estimating to pull this off. A huge portion of those, obviously, are already committed. One of the fascinating things about this event is because it's being put on by the Crossroads of American Councill, by the Boy Scouts of America, essentially, is that we are going to camp right here at this piece of property about 1,000 scouts and their leaders, and that is going to be a massive chunk of that volunteer, that 1,500 volunteers that we're talking about. So kids are going to arrive here on Friday night with their units. They're going to set up camp. They're going to enjoy the evening's festivities. First thing, Saturday morning, they're going to grab breakfast, and then we are going to shuttle them over to the airport where they're going to watch the show, be volunteers, have various jobs and assignments that they're going to perform. under the leadership of the adults that have a little more knowledge with that specific area that they're working in. And then when the show is over in the evening, they'll be shuttled back here. On Saturday night, they get a visit from a couple of the Blue Angel pilots. We'll be coming down here to camp to talk to them as really kind of the special treat for the scouts that are here doing that. They'll grab a little shut-eye on Saturday night. Sunday morning, they'll be right back up, shuttled back to the airport to do it all over again. So that will be, I can't imagine, having been a scout as a kid, Chris, like a lot of us were, I can't imagine having had that opportunity as a kid. That would have been cool. I love the opportunities I did have in scouting. So obviously that's a big portion of the workforce, but I think it goes without saying there are only so many things we can ask 13 and 14-year-old kids to do. And obviously providing any semblance of parking guidance or screening and security, or I don't want to say they can't do chalet hospitality. Of course they could do chalet hospitality. But for those of you that grew up scouting and never went to camp, a couple days into a camping trip, we might not want them doing chalet hospitality.
What did I do?
That was a joke on bathing and cleanliness and everything else. Yeah, absolutely. So there are still hundreds of positions that we are looking to fill. Those three big ones that I just mentioned, parking, screening, chalet hospitality. For those of you that are already involved in box seats, that's the same as what I'm referring to as chalet hospitality. Those are our corporate partners. Those are people in the Flight Line Club. So that is meeting and greeting and guidance and customer service to that group. Yep, so we have done first Monday of the month meetings right here at the Innovation Center for over a year and a half now at this point. So if you guys are interested, we'd love to have you join us on Monday night. We start at 7 o'clock. It's a great opportunity that the general flow of those meetings, because they are just that, they're general, it's everybody, is we do some brief updates on the show, if we have any new performers, if we've made any changes to the map we had up on the screen a little bit earlier, and then we break out into those respective groups we just talked about. So my volunteer services team breaks out and goes over here and gets a little more into the details of what it is needs to happen. So the group in charge of chalet services will be here on Monday night as well. I would absolutely encourage any of you that are interested in that as an area or have already signed up for that, or box seats as an area. That is a perfect opportunity to really find out where they're at, what challenges or opportunities they have going forward, and maybe where you fit in as far as being able to fill some of those needs.
Right.
Anyone else before we get into personal questions? Are there still personal questions? No? Are we running out of
I
time?
didn't mean
No
to put you
personal
on the spot
questions?
that much. I just like to know what motivates people. We would like to give you this mug
Oh.
from Indianapolis Ambassadors, 40 years.
Outstanding. Thank you
And
very
thank you
much.
for having us. And
The coffee
thanking
addict
us.
in me appreciates that.
You're going to need that.
I am.
You're going to need that.
I am. It was great having you guys here. Michelle and Chris and I talked about the communication going forward. Please, if you have any issues with the online form, if you want a good old-fashioned piece of paper before you get out of here, I have got that as well, and I'm going to get those printed for anyone that might want that. Or if you come up with any other questions, please feel free. Give me a call, shoot me an email. We're happy to, answer any of the questions that you've got and assign you to trash and toilets, if you're interested, or chalet hospitality for anyone that might rather do that.